podcast. I'm Lo.
And I'm Dee, and welcome to A Bad Time.
What a bad time.
Oh, yeah. For those of you joining for the first time, what we're doing is going through episode by episode of Once Upon a Time, mostly so you don't have to, and also because we love to hate this show more than anything.
So true. And if it's your very first time, well, welcome.
Yes.
Sorry about this.
We apologize profusely. We cannot apologize enough for what you're about to hear.
But in any case, just a heads up, this is not a spoiler-free zone. We are watching with the full knowledge of this show. We have seen most episodes more than once. We're just discussing, nitpicking. We'll go through everything, like Dee said, so you don't have to.
Correct. And we do have a few things we're keeping extra care of that we'll go over at the end. So there is some purpose to it, maybe.
A little bit.
Kind of, not really.
But boy, did we have a special treat this week.
Oh, it's chaos. It's
Chaos
terrible.
Incarnate. We are not in separate rooms right now.
Whoa. Wow.
So special.
Which means this is going to be terrible.
It's going to be interesting. That's what it's going to be.
But we have wine.
We both have wine. And you know what we can do?
What?
Cheers.
Cheers. I hope the microphone caught that. I'll be sad if it didn't.
It's going to be beautiful.
So,
how's your week?
Oh my God. Well, how is my week? My week is better. You've been here.
It's been super fun.
Yeah, you've been here the entire week so far.
Yes. Very, very fun. We went to Disneyland.
Oh God, do we do story? Do we do like a bridge Disneyland story?
Picture it.
Anaheim, 7:55 in the morning.
Oh my goodness, it was a lot, and there was many
Things.
adult beverages imbibed.
Yes.
But it was a lot of fun.
It was very fun. We had a great time.
We certainly did.
We deserve Disneyland more often.
I agree.
But it was good. So yeah, my week is perfect, I guess.
To that point in purpose, drinking for fun,
right?
For profit.
During lunch today, when I was, choosing not to work because I didn't want to.
Sure.
Also, it was lunch, but we watched Once Upon a Time, which is
We did, yes.
It's either a good time or a bad time.
We did not watch the episode we are currently covering.
We mentioned it before. We watched simultaneously to this on our own for funsies, so we are starting the Queens of Darkness arc.
I can't wait.
We got real angry because there was Robin and Regina, and Regina finally got her happiness just to have it once again ripped from beneath her.
Away, and how dare they do that to me?
I feel personally attacked.
Yes, victimized by Once Upon a Time.
If you've ever been personally victimized by Regina Mills, raise your hand.
Every single day of my life. Every day.
Truly.
But the good news, I guess, it's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
And, surprise midweek Sebastian Stan.
Because we deserve it.
We are watching Hat Trick this week.
We are, which is so much fun.
Yes.
After a few exceptionally troubling episodes.
We got another troubling episode.
Correct. It continues to be troubling. Oh, exciting news. We got an email. We have people that care.
Tell us about it.
I'm going to. Let me find where my email is. So this is primarily about our favorite thing to discuss, the superpower. Emma's flawed
superpower.
Yeah, that.
Nonsense.
Yeah, that. But McKenna had emailed a few days ago with some, there's half of this that I'm full on board with, yes. I will say. Okay, so what the email goes on about is how perhaps Emma's superpower is connected to how emotionally invested she is with that person. So before entering Storybrooke, maybe her superpower was a bit more powerful.
Okay.
But with Henry's involvement, suddenly things are out of whack. Her radar is being a little bit, tampered with. Because she hasn't gotten close to anyone in so long, and suddenly she's very involved in the town and everyone who lives there, which makes it harder to discern the truth. Because, and I quote, "Oh no, not emotions, the horror." Which for Emma, that is...
I mean, that's how I live my life. Oh no, not emotions, the horror?
Yeah. Full on board with that assessment of the emotions, the horror.
Yes. I am super intrigued by this theory. I wish there were more textual evidence of it.
And I think I could buy it maybe if it was with Henry, she always got it right still, but others maybe not. Where it could be an argument of those that are from Storybrooke, it doesn't work.
Right.
Or from the Enchanted Forest. If they're from there, it doesn't work, but Henry's not, so she's able to clock his lies and be like, no. Kiddo.
McKenna and sister, I think if the writers were better, they would have absolutely proven your point.
I know, and I think that's why it's interesting. But it's the second part of this for me. So this is about a very specific lie that I had mentioned a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Went back and forth. It was the moment where Sydney Glass says, you have an ally with me. And I was like, well, because he's working for Regina, Emma fucked up. She should have caught that he was shady. And what McKenna's, I believe it's her sister's theory, actually. So shout out to McKenna's sister. What he may have meant and honestly believes was, if you were to go for a power grab, I would be on your side. The conditions are not right yet for a perfect alliance, but I'm still waiting for that moment. And I think that's an interesting take, because even though we know Sydney is very much devoted to Regina, there is some, like, bitterness towards it. He doesn't want to be. He's kind of being strung along. So maybe it is I will be an ally right now. I don't have an out, but if we work together, I might be able to help things for both of us. I think that's a very interesting... Like, I like that because that was already a really gray area. I wasn't sure which way to take it.
Were we?
It was one that in the moment I didn't clock it, and then afterwards, I think it was while we were recording, I was like, wait a second. What are his exact words? Does he say, you can trust me? Because he does say, oh, I'm no longer working for Regina. Or he says something about, like, oh, I'm no longer working for the mirror, which Regina kind of controls.
Yes. Definitely would have to go back and listen to all of it, but I love this take.
Yes, and honestly, I just love opinions. I like people sending things because it makes me have to think about Emma a bit more, which I don't like to do, so I need to.
So it's better.
It's better because I can't be trusted.
So no, I love this take of. I love the idea that Emma's superpower wouldn't work with the citizens of Storybrooke, except for the fact that her superpower very clearly only works when we need it to work.
Yeah, it's so...
And it does... I don't think there's rules in their head about when it works and when it doesn't work.
It works when they don't have a clever story way to make something happen.
Yes. But I love this idea that Sydney is not fully lying and is power hungry.
Yes.
And looking to get out. So I really like that one. And that one I could definitely see you could totally make a case for.
Exactly. And again, every time I write down these lies, I know sometimes I'm missing some. Sometimes my calls aren't correct, which brings me to our next thing. When we're wrong, we'll say we're wrong, and this is a good thing we are wrong about. A few weeks ago, Lo had the terrible discovery that Mary Poppins and Bert were in an episode. And we've lived with this knowledge for 3 weeks. It's been sad. It's been devastating. Locally famous Matthew Winter was there to witness it. Yep. Today we received contextual, pure, clear evidence that it is Mary and Bart.
Woohoo, I'm free! I'm free!
And so it's a very good day for Lo.
I'm free! I'm going to sleep so well tonight.
Must be nice.
Yes. Oh, it's so nice.
Must be nice.
So nice to know that my favorite thing was not touched by this show.
And it just goes, I remember watching the show and going, wow, what characters will it be next? And now I sit here and go, what have they done now?
Please not this one.
Every time now I find something else small. Like, I'm still convinced that carrot eating situation was something, and I hate that it was probably something.
Please, if you have an answer about the carrot eating situation, please let us know.
Yeah, right?
You can text. You can send us a message at onewineandones on Instagram. Or to our email at onewineandones@gmail.com.
Put it as a review.
Why not?
They don't care. The review will just make other people listen to it. It doesn't matter what it says.
Again, it could be something as simple as, I don't know, Red ate her boyfriend.
Lest you have forgotten. Because the show has.
Fully Not even addressed anymore.
The show has moved so far past that point.
We've blown by it and we will never revisit it.
I should be so lucky.
Indeed.
Okay, so we are on season 1, episode 17, Hat Trick.
Yes.
And as we mentioned before, that surprise midweek Sebastian Stan. Yeah, I know this is a Sunday for you guys, but for us it's Wednesday.
And it's surprise midweek Sebastian Stan.
So it's better. Let's see what Disney Plus has to say. During her search for Mary Margaret, Emma is kidnapped by a madman with an affinity for hats. The evil queen hires a man of magic.
Technically all very accurate.
It's the man of magic for me.
I love it. I love it.
I love it because we never explain how Jefferson has magic, really. It's just he can do this thing, and this is the thing he does.
Yeah, and he does it so well.
He does it so very well.
He does it so flawlessly.
He can do whatever he wants forever.
Ever, yeah. Because you know why? He's played by Sebastian Stan.
Amen. We love to see it.
We sure do.
Well, are you ready to take us away into whatever happens in this harrowing tale?
I suppose I am, but
First wine.
let's raise a glass.
We have half a bottle to kill. We have work to do.
We gotta get going.
Cheers. Cheers.
All right, so jumping in to season 1, episode 17, Hat Trick. So we open in Storybrooke,
Whoa.
which is lovely and refreshing. We don't get to open there very much in the first season.
It's my theory is the first half is so setup based that they're trying to ground us in who everyone is. So it's Enchanted Forest. We have the groundwork now, so it's okay. We're in the meat of the season 1 plot now. We are in it, and I love that.
We immediately are in the jail, in the sheriff's station. Mary Margaret's cell is now empty.
Well, she done did it.
And she is running through the woods.
She has seemingly no plan, by the way.
No, she's just running. Which, fair, I suppose. Then we go back to the sheriff's station where Henry's just kind of like sitting and reading. Sure.
Is he reading his storybook?
He's reading.
Good
for him. Reading is important.
Stay in school, kids.
Emma and Gold enter into the room, and Henry immediately congratulates Emma because, you know, it's awesome. She did such a good job. And Emma's like, what did I do a good job about? And Henry's like, oh, you know the thing. And Emma's like, what? And Henry's like, you know, helping the Mary Margaret escape. And Emma's like,
Mr. Gold's like, the what now?
And Emma's like, the what now?
And Henry sees Mr. Gold and is like, I'm not saying shit in front of him. I don't fucking talk. I don't snitch.
Right. Exactly.
He says, I don't snitch. It's great.
Weird. Basically, Henry informs Emma that Mary Margaret has gone missing.
Fantastic.
She's run. So
Emma's a very bad sheriff. Have we considered this?
We need to consider it more.
Are there no alarms on this door?
No. It's a very small podunk town, and Regina didn't think to put them in when she made it.
She didn't think she'd ever actually have to use it, except for when Grumpy was, or when Leroy's drunk and has to stay.
Yeah, exactly. It was meant as a drunk tank, not a jail cell.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
And why would you think you would need one for a murderer?
I don't know. Mary Margaret's run. Emma has been informed of this by the 10-year-old and
Hate that.
is immediately on a mission to go and save her friend and find her, because if people find out that she ran, it does not matter. She is now a fugitive.
Correct.
Doesn't matter if she's the felon or not. Now she's a fugitive.
Again, Mary Margaret, all you had to do is wait until the court case has gone through and you realize, I'm not getting out of this, I'm out.
Yep, but
Just wait a day. 2 days if you're feeling extra spicy. I don't know.
But she didn't, so Emma's like, if people find out she ran, she's never getting out. And Gold tries to stop her, says, you know what, you're putting your job on the line for doing this.
Right.
And Emma says, I don't care, Mary Margaret's more important. So she goes off, she takes her bug, pulls out of the sheriff parking spot, We know this because it says sheriff on the ground.
And also there's a sign in front that says reserved for sheriff.
Perfect.
They really want to make sure no one is using that spot in this town that maybe 7 people have cars.
Exactly. She goes driving off through the woods on the shady road that nothing good ever happens on. Again, just stay off the roads. And
Queens Highway, Storybrooke roads, just stay off any roads.
Exactly. Immediately has to swerve because there's a man in the road.
Oh no.
He kind of runs off. She moves, comes to come check on him, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And he kind of says, like, he's okay, he's fine. This is Sebastian Stan, everybody.
It's arrived.
It's Sebastian Stan. It's 2011 Sebastian Stan. His chin is looking so boopable.
Oh.
You could just, like, nestle your nose right in there.
I think you could. I think we should.
I think I should.
That's fair.
But, you know, he's saying, "I'm fine. What are you doing out here?" And she claims she's looking for a lost dog.
I mean, for someone whose claim to fame is a superpower with detecting lies, she comes up with the shittiest lies.
She's out looking for a dog. And he's like, "Okay, well, bye." And she's
Good luck with your dog, my friend.
Yeah.
Alpidanza.
Yeah. And so she is like, "You're sure you're okay?" And he says, "No, I live a mile down the road. It's fine. I'll be there." And then is limping. And she says, "You're hurt."
I feel this is important and think you should write it down.
And
it's a surprise mousecatool for later that I'll be discussing at a later time.
He says, "I'm fine." Yeah, he basically says, no, don't bother helping me. And she says, "I'm driving you because you're injured and I almost ran you over."
Right, and a mile-long walk is a long ways to go with an injury.
Sure. They arrive at Jefferson's mansion. It's a mansion.
It's so big, no one's ever seen it.
Emma comments that he must have a really big family, and Jefferson says, "Nope.
That's a red flag.
Just me in this big old mansion."
No, thank you.
So, I don't know. If a man looked like Sebastian Stan, would you really question it? Please question it.
I wouldn't, but yeah, please,
for your own safety, please question it.
I wouldn't. I can say with absolute certainty if someone that looks like that said, "I live alone in this giant mansion," I would say, "Yes, you do."
Great. Would you like company?
Good thing. So it's just you, huh? Would you like it to not be?
Exactly.
I'd be delighted to hear he lived in a mansion alone.
You know what? That does sound like a perfect person.
Ideal scenario.
Emma walks this man inside because, again, he's limping. He's
sad for him.
Sad. They go inside. He offers her some tea, shows her a map to help with her search because he's an amateur cartographer.
Ah, yes. You know, the ancient craft of cartography that's still used every day by normal men that live in mansions.
Yeah. They make maps and
be a little concerned.
Live in mansions.
If an attractive man lives in a giant mansion alone and practices cartography and has microscopes.
But here's my question for you.
Okay.
What if he's not attractive?
Then he's probably sad because we're really terrible people. I would apologize.
That's your theory, girl.
I'm really terrible people, and I apologize. No, okay. Retracted. If anyone lives in a giant mansion,
regardless of attraction status.
Correct. In fact, if you find them attractive, it might hinder your ability to form a good opinion on the scenario.
Please be aware.
Ask them. Question 1, do you live here alone? Question 2, do you practice cartography?
Does he, practice cartography?
I said what I said.
Is he,
Nope. Does he practice cartography?
So, well, if you thought the cartography was a red flag, I have a better one for you.
I'm ready.
The tea he gave her was drugged.
That is a red flag.
He roofied her.
Well,
so, that's not good.
No, but for course he's real nice. He says, "Where do you think you saw Spot last?"
Right, because the dog's name is Spot. She's a good liar, everyone.
Really proud of her.
Right, he takes out his handmade map and
says his cartography.
Point to the spot where you last saw your dog Spot.
It's just about as good as the episode before when Rumple's like, "You'll find snow here," and just like points to the middle of a map.
Yeah, there's also a lot of just trees on the map.
I don't think he knows how to cartograph. He does not know how to practice cartography.
I don't know what the word is, but I know it isn't what you've said.
Yeah, I studied English, everyone.
So, moving on. Emma's had tea that's got a roofie in it, and she stumbles, and he catches her from behind, and is like, "Shh, shh, no, hey, it's okay, shh."
That's another red flag.
And puts her on the couch, and as she's blacking out, she realizes, hey, you don't have a limp.
Okay. I don't know if that would be my first reaction to, like, I'm passing out from drugs.
This man drugged me. Hey, you lied about your limp.
I think we're past that, Emma. He drugged you.
Finally, it's a long setup, but we finally go back over to the Enchanted Forest.
Which, weirdly enough, we're actually not in the Enchanted Forest that much this one.
No, and we're not even in our magical realms all that much.
No.
We see the same man, Jefferson. He is playing hide and seek in the forest with his daughter, Grace.
I would argue she's too old for hide and seek, but good for her.
You know, you got it. There's no television in this world.
That's fair. That's fair.
You forgot about that.
You're right. She can do whatever she wants.
She doesn't have the internet.
She doesn't have this show to watch.
And so she is having to collect mushrooms and play hide and seek for her entertainment.
Oh no.
They return to their cottage and find that the evil queen's carriage is outside.
Well, that's never a good sign.
No. Grace obviously is upset and afraid because it's a scary looking carriage. And Jefferson tells her, go be in the woods.
You know how you talk to your child.
No, please go be in the woods while I go and talk and find out what's going on.
Right.
So, you know.
Why not?
At least he keeps this kid away from the evil queen.
We know what she does with kids. She says things like, go and steal this item for me, push a witch into the fireplace, and then want to live with me?
I fail to see the problem.
You're right. Regina's never done anything wrong in her life, and I stand by that.
No, never. Every decision she's ever made is 100% justified.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Keep it up. I'm not being sarcastic.
No, this is pure love. She has done no wrong. It's character development. She's doing great.
She's doing amazing because he walks into his cottage and she's there being snarky. Snarky? Sassy?
Sexual?
A little flirty?
I mean, her tits are out.
Yes.
They are she is acting as are her tits.
And I will say, Sebastian Stan and Lana Parrilla should work more together.
I agree.
They seem to have a lot of fun together.
Yes, I agree. I think it's very similar in the way that she and Robert Carlyle can make weird moments fun.
Yes. I think it's just two people who understand the camp of their role.
They understood the assignment. We don't know what the assignment is to this day, but they understood. And that, good for them.
Yeah. She does a weird thing. She says, I thought you didn't, so you're out of the game, basically. Talk to him, essentially.
She also says poverty's not a good look on you.
Yeah. She's like, I used to pay you to do something else, and this is sad for you.
It's sad, and I'm
they
sad.
They clearly have a history.
We will never find out what that history is, but
I
think it's sexual.
I think we get a little bit.
We
do get a little bit.
I have to assume it is sexual.
In nature, yes. Given
everything about them?
Given the everything about them. So they have a history. They're kind of doing this back and forth thing. He gets really close into her space. Again,
I can't blame
not
him.
disproving the theory. He's basically saying, I don't do that anymore. We don't really know what's that is yet, but she says, I need one last favor. I will change your life. Your daughter will never want for anything.
Right.
If you just do this. And he says, you know what? No. I'm not going to do it. My job cost Grace her mother. We don't know who that is. We will not address it.
Does not matter. Irrelevant to the plot, so ask no questions.
And he refuses to lose her and lose, have this child lose her father. So she says, okay.
After getting really close to his face, is like, okay.
Yeah. Again, got to get into the weird personal space boundary issues.
Boundaries? What boundaries?
Yeah, exactly. But she says, okay, I'm just going to leave. And they go about their merry way.
Right.
Grace and Jefferson go to the market. Grace runs over to a stall and sees this bunny that she just really wants. It's a stuffed white rabbit.
It'd be perfect for tea parties.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that for her.
The woman selling it says this is the price, and Jefferson very clearly is like, I can't afford that. But
I got a nickel. Is that good for you?
Would you accept this much instead? And she says, no. Absolutely not. The economy, you understand.
Well, it's great. At first she's like, oh, a father who's willing to give his last coins for his daughter. No.
Yeah.
It's great. This woman is playing the game for a second. You think she's about to be like, oh, okay. Yeah. That's all you have? Okay.
Yeah. No.
Not
she's not about it.
What a bitch.
And then it is revealed that, this is not just some regular old stingy woman.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mirror nearby.
Right.
In which Sydney appears. Well, really, the genie appears. And he says, that was cruel. And there is a reveal. The old woman is the evil queen.
Oh, I take it back.
Disguise.
I take it back. Not a bitch. She has done nothing
She's
wrong.
done nothing wrong in her life ever.
Usually we're not like fun fact people, but this, I actually do like what you found about this particular character.
Turns out they did not hire anyone to play the old woman.
Right.
They just put Lana Parrilla in a lot of old age makeup.
Because didn't she, you were reading somewhere that she likes to play.
According to the wiki, she's into playing old characters.
Love that for her.
So,
she's very good at it.
Yeah, it's great.
There's so much makeup on her face in that moment. Her lips aren't moving. Her mouth isn't moving, but I love it.
No, it's very kind of the troll.
Oh, no, back to the trolls with their mandibles that shouldn't be able to make vowels.
Yeah, there's less of the jawline problems, but it is very much
it's the same effect if you've had a lot of Botox.
A little bit. Back at the cottage, Jefferson creates a rabbit. It's really cute. He's such a cute dad.
He's so sweet, and you can tell that he will do anything for Grace, and I love it.
He's darling. He's so cute. But she wants to play, and he's like, I actually said I have to go to the neighbors for a while, so,
peace out,
bye.
Kiddo.
And she's like, but can I come with you? I like being in the woods with you. And he's like, no.
Not going to the woods today.
So Grace says this has something to do with the evil queen.
She's smart. I'll give her that.
She's a smart kiddo. And he says, I want you to have everything. So I'm going to do this. And she says, all I need is you.
Aww.
But,
he does it anyway.
Grace makes him promise to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I'll be back by tea time. Be back for tea. He goes out and retrieves an oddly shaped box. It's big and long and just oddly shaped.
It's funky.
It's weird. It's a weird shaped box. We go back to Storybrooke. We actually spend good chunks of time in each location.
It's nice. It's not a lot of jumping and running around.
Yeah, so we're back in Storybrooke where, if you'll recall, Emma has been drugged.
Oh, right.
But she wakes, and now she is tied up in a room, and she's bound and gagged.
Oh, no.
Well, she's still on the couch. She's not in the room.
Oh, good.
In another room. She's on the couch. She realizes
she comes to so quickly.
She's very fast thinking, this woman. I like it because it is one of those moments where I'm like, oh, like you can tell this woman's been in situations.
Well, it reminds us that she did have a fascinating background before.
Yeah, you can tell this woman has been in situations, maybe not this exact one.
But she's had to think quickly. She was a bail bonzer woman with the hot pink dress. It was really great. She can be badass. Storybrooke just sucks the life out of her.
Exactly. So she basically uses her weight and a pillow to smash the teacup. And then uses one of those very sharp shards to cut herself out of the ropes.
Oh, yeah. Very quick thinking.
Yeah. She is free. She goes to the window to try and climb out. Windows don't open. There's no way out.
This mansion has no windows and no doors.
Basically, she is kind of just rummaging through. She realizes that Jefferson is in another room sharpening some scissors.
You know how you sharpen your scissors?
Of course, I sharpen my scissors.
Wish we hadn't started saying this. Here we are.
So he's sharpening his scissors. Emma sneaks by him and into another room.
Right.
But that is where she finds Mary Margaret, who is also bound and gagged.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Was this somebody's thing, do you think?
Possibly. Much like being tied to trees.
Yeah, there's a lot of people tied to things in the past few episodes. But anyway, moving on from that, Emma and Mary Margaret have this long whispered conversation in which Mary Margaret is explaining that, hey, Jefferson grabbed me in the woods, and all I care, and there was this mysterious key in my cell, and maybe we could have this conversation at any other time when we're not trying to
I recognized that Emma had opened the door and saw him sharpening the scissors, and he heard a sound and might be following them, but we must have this conversation right
now?
Right here, right now.
Shouldn't the priority be like, hey, be really quiet right now?
No.
Be really quiet right
now. See, that's where you're wrong.
Try to get you out.
Mary Margaret's a good person and needs to clear her conscience immediately. She's never done anything horrible in her life.
Right, of course. So, of course, we have to let the madman with the scissors come find us.
Doesn't get less upsetting the more you hear it.
No, but
he also has a gun, doesn't he?
I was going to say, you know what? It's good because he's dropped the scissors in favor of Emma's gun.
The fact that she didn't realize, oh no, my gun's gone.
Well, I would argue you're not thinking about anything except getting out of that house at that point.
That's fair. No, well, getting out of the house and hearing Mary Margaret's appeal.
Of course.
The two priorities when you're on the run.
Of course. Jefferson realizes what's happening and basically holds them at gunpoint.
Why the hell not?
Because, and makes Emma tie Mary Margaret right back up.
Oh, sad.
Well, it must have been nice 30 seconds.
Well, she used all of her breath to say, there was a key. I got out. Not illegally. There was a key, so therefore it's okay.
Right, of course. Hi. He says he needs Emma to do something.
Right.
And basically reveals that he knows about the curse. And this is interesting. We will revisit this because he says he has been trapped doing the exact same thing for 28 years.
No.
But this is not his real life. And he just wants to get back to his life in the Enchanted Forest. And Emma is special because Emma brought magic back. Mm-hmm. She needs to use her magic to make it work.
How ominous.
We don't know what that means, but then we see a hat sitting on a table.
I need you to understand what kind of hat you see.
It's a Mad Hatter hat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a Mad Hatter hat is. It's a wonky top hat.
Yep. But like wide, it goes wide. You know the type.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine being told to make that hat in particular.
Right. Not only do you have to make it work somehow.
We're gonna see what that means. No.
Right.
Make it work.
You have to use your magic that you don't believe in to make it work. Not only that, you actually have to construct the hat.
Correct. My favorite thing is she even makes some comment like, "Oh my God, like you believe my son's stupid stories," and he's just like,
"They're not stupid.
You're stupid.
Your face is stupid." We go back to the Enchanted Forest, and Jefferson is meeting with Regina in her palace.
Good for her. Good for
she
her.
promises
Good for him.
Once again, doing a weird little bow that
she does it. It's in the episode with Hansel and Gretel when she's like trying to
she like hunches over
to make sure everyone can see her bosom.
Yeah, why not? They were looking particularly spectacular.
Exquisite. You could tell that dress was meant to have like a camisole or something underneath.
No,
she opted no.
She said absolutely not. Once again, she is promising that Grace will want for nothing if he does this one thing for her. And he pulls out a top hat, the hat we've kind of already seen.
Sure.
From that weird shaped box that he got earlier.
Right.
So he spins it on the ground, evidently creating a large portal.
Why not?
Sure, I guess. I don't know. No beans needed, just the Mad Hatter's hat.
No, we haven't created the concept of magic beans yet, so we don't.
But we have because Faye.
Oh, fuck me.
They jump into this large portal together. They have another moment.
That's two.
It's two. We'll go over those notes at the end. They enter this room, and it's kind of like the trees in Nightmare Before Christmas, where like there are different symbols of each land.
I'm pretty sure each door just goes to a different holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
I am curious though. Maybe we'll pose a screenshot and we can figure out what else we got here.
Yeah, that was
happening.
We didn't pause on this.
No,
and there were a couple of different things I wanted to pause on, but either way, Regina looks around and she goes, "I forgot how magnificent you are," which is a saying.
It's a platonic thing to say to someone you care for platonically.
Yeah, of course. They enter through a mirror. And Jefferson reminds her of the rules of the portal hat.
Right.
Only, if 2 people enter this mirror, 2 people come out.
Right.
You cannot have less people come out. You cannot have more people come out. The exact same number of people who walked in need to walk out.
It's an eye for an eye situation.
Exactly.
Fantastic. That seems simple enough. Hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt us later.
No, nobody is going to get harmed by this at all. This is not Chekhov's gun at all.
Nope.
So they come to a path and they turn and see a giant blue caterpillar who's smoking a hookah. It's the famous Alice in Wonderland caterpillar who looks at them blowing smoke rings and says, "Who are you?" Fun fact, voiced by the lead singer of The Who.
Terrible.
Great. Super fun.
I love this one because Jefferson looks so pissed off by the smoke in his face.
He's just he has the exact correct reaction and just kind of deadpans. I hate Wonderland.
It's a great line.
Sebastian Stan does such good things with this role.
Oh,
I wish we got more of him.
We've said it before, but if you're ever
bored, in the mood.
Well, that too. Not so much in this episode, but anytime he's a background character, just pause when he's in the background doing background shit.
Right, just see what he's doing. See what's going on.
It's always entertaining and it never makes sense.
And I love that for him.
I love it for us too.
Exactly. That was clearly a commercial break because we open back up on Storybrooke where Jefferson is demanding that Emma make a hat.
I would not know how to make it. At gunpoint, someone said right now, make a hat. I would make one of those tricorn hats out of construction paper and be
it's a hat, it's a boat. you don't know.
It's both. It can be whatever you want it to be.
Exactly.
Like, that would be the best I can do. Or, like a dunce hat. The best I can give you is a dunce hat.
Imagine. She just hands him a dunce hat.
The best I can do is this. Or if she stared at all the fabrics and said, can you bring me some construction paper? Because that would have been me. Like, listen, if you want a hat, I'm going to need glue, double-sided tape, and construction paper, and stickers if you want it pretty.
Can I have some markers?
Like the stamp markers in particular. Ooh, those scissors that have the fun shapes on them.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Definitely the scrapbooking scissors.
Yes, those are the ones.
Mm-hmm. Turns out he's been making hats. He's got a wall of hats behind them, and none of them work. So Emma looks and says, you think you're the Mad Hatter, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You're insane. You're insane for believing in magic.
What? Okay.
Man has a gun.
Let me paint you a picture. You've just been kidnapped and drugged, essentially. You're sitting in a room with a man that has... First, you saw him sharpening scissors. He's kidnapped another one of your friends. He has a gun. We must insist you remember the fact that he has a gun. Now, personally, I think the last thing on my list would be to look at this man and say, you're crazy.
Yeah, the survival instinct that we saw earlier, perhaps not kicked in anymore.
No, you placate to it. Which...
Later she will, but
in this moment, if he is actively holding a weapon, it's a weird choice.
It was a choice because she goes, you're insane for believing in magic. And they have a conversation because he's a decent person with a gun, I don't know. And he's like, well, what makes you think that? Why am I the crazy one?
Right.
And she's like, well, you're talking about things that aren't real. And he's like, well, what makes something real? How did you learn about the Civil War? Yes. Well, how did you learn about that? Did you learn about it in a book? Yes. But the stories are written down and the stories are in a book. What are those based on? They must be based on something real.
I do love this from a 2022 perspective where we are looking at our history books and seeing how accurate are things and how can we, do better. I know they didn't do this back then.
No.
In the moment now, I'm like, it's kind of funny because he's implying that the shit we learned in school might be fabricated, which, you know what? Proceed.
Yeah. But he's also saying, hey,
anything.
Rapunzel is real. That sword swings both ways, man.
My favorite is she goes, I read one, she says, you think you're the Mad Hatter. It makes sense. The tea, the hat, you're the Mad Hatter. I read Alice in Wonderland. She hasn't read any, she's never read Snow White.
No knowledge
this is a new
of Snow
one.
White.
She knows about this one, though. This one means something to her.
Yes. What? We just don't know. Basically, he says, you're not leaving until I can go home. You need to make me a hat, and then I can go home. Because you have magic, and it will make my life better, and I will go home. Now, we do not flash to the Enchanted Forest.
Whoa!
We are now in Wonderland.
Bum, bum, bum.
So in Wonderland, Jefferson and Regina now are before a hedge maze.
Right.
That's supposed to lead them to the Queen of Hearts. And Jefferson is like, nah, no way. Nope, we're not doing this. Those hedges eat people.
And they do.
And if the hedges don't get us, the Queen of Hearts will.
Either way, we're dying. Absolutely not.
I'm not doing this.
Which, again, you knew she wanted to take you to Wonderland. Did you not think this might be part of...
I don't know.
What did you think she wanted?
Who's to say? Regina over here is like, hey, I'll leave you behind.
Bitch, I'll leave you.
Right, I'll leave you behind. But not in a nice way. In a, I will leave you here and you will never get back to your daughter sort of way.
But then he's like, two in, two out, bitch. You gotta take me with you.
Exactly. So she throws a fireball and just burns away to the center of the maze, which is a move.
So fucking convenient. We love her for working smarter, not harder.
And in the center of the maze, there seems to be kind of a crypt.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Regina's crypt.
Very similar to, in every way imaginable.
Pretty much. Inside of that building, crypt, whatever you want to call it, right. Mausoleum, there is a room that is just full of little boxes.
Sure.
Grabs one.
Right.
And they leave, but immediately there are guards coming for them.
Sure.
Because they've stolen.
Great. They play chase. It's really great.
Yeah, they're running through the maze. Regina...
hairpin turning.
Right. Regina's making hedges grow. They're throwing people into the hedges.
And just like Jefferson promised, the hedges are eating people.
Yeah, no, necks are breaking. It's great. It's awesome. Is it? I don't know.
It's something.
It's bad CGI is what it is. But they run out. They're almost to the mirror. Like, they are 10 steps from the mirror. They're back at the mushroom that the caterpillar was sitting on earlier. And Regina stops and is like, I need to do something.
Right.
First, before we leave. So she breaks out. One of the more confusing scenes.
Yeah.
Of at least this episode, if not this season, if not this show. She breaks off a little piece of mushroom, opens the box.
First, Jefferson's like, you know what those do here. Doesn't she say, like, I'm hungry, or it's a treat? She says something weird, like, yeah, I want to taste. She makes some, like, snarky comment.
Like, whatever. I don't care. I'm not listening to you. It doesn't matter. I know what I'm doing.
You're dumb for not knowing what I was doing.
She grabs a piece of the mushroom. She opens up the box. And then... Now, I know this wasn't their intention, but there was absolutely nothing in that box.
No, it's a hollow box.
Very clearly see that, but...
What's in the box? Nothing.
There's something inside in the fiction of the story. And she just gently places the mushroom inside the box.
Ever so gently.
Is whatever's in the box eating the mushroom? I don't know.
That's the implication, because
it sure seems like the heart box is, or the box is one of the heart boxes we've seen.
Right, and there is no glowing heart in it.
Right, but I don't know that we're supposed to know that there's no glowing heart in it. It kind of feels like they just didn't want to
create the CGI for that.
Animate the glowing heart for it.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment.
There's a puff of smoke, and suddenly there is Regina's dad.
Henry Sr.
Henry Sr.'s here, everybody. Give him a round of applause. So, turns out her dad was trapped in a box.
Wait a minute. You mean the thing that was taken from her was her father?
Yeah. And he was trapped in a box, and we don't know how or why, but he was trapped in a box, and he was trapped in a box in the Wonderland, and he was trapped in a box inside a mausoleum.
We will never address this.
No, absolutely not. And then, another thing we will never address is good guy Henry Sr.
This man
looks at the father who has brought his daughter to save him. And turns out she's looking at Jefferson going, great, yep, I brought 2 people through.
I've taken 2 out.
I've got my next one. I'm going to also continue to take 2 people out. You're just not going to be one of them.
Bye.
You're going to live here now.
And Henry Sr. stares at his daughter and goes, we've got to go.
Right. And Jefferson out loud is like, I promised my daughter I would be home for tea. So, like, this is it's not like this man does not know that he's a father.
No, Henry Sr. is fully aware of everything happening and does not give a fuck.
Right. He hears this man plead to come home. He hears this man plead for his daughter. And Henry's like, well, bye. Sucks to suck. Bye.
He also hears his daughter stare at him and say something like, if you loved her, you wouldn't have left.
Yeah, basically, Regina's like, yeah, you're right. We don't abandon family. You were right that first time. Also, you know, sucks to suck. Bye.
That sounds like a you problem, though.
Right. The ground is now swallowing your feet. I will see you later. Jefferson gets dragged off as they escape through the mirror. He's dragged off by the guards.
Oh, sure.
So, Regina's off and away. Henry Sr.'s off and away. Jefferson's being dragged stiff as a board through the maze.
There is no emotion behind his eyes.
He's just kind of done.
He has given up.
Yeah.
He can't, at this point, it's 2 in, 2 out. He can't leave.
Yeah. So he's captured. He's brought before the Queen of Hearts, who does not speak aloud. She whispers through a little listening horn to her guard, who will speak for her.
Correct.
It's great. And he refuses to answer how he came to Wonderland, but she says, nah, off with his head.
It's great.
But don't worry.
Fine.
He's beheaded. It's fine. He's alive.
Why? Oh, no.
He's alive.
Absolutely not.
He's absolutely alive, and his little neck is just dangling there as his head is being held by a guard.
No.
And his body has fallen down to the floor. It's normal. Now he's a little more amenable to answering questions.
That's fair. He has been beheaded.
Yeah. And he's not getting his body back until he answers some questions. So he tells her about the hat and says, it doesn't work like that. I don't have it.
It's gone. No.
I don't have it. I can't use it. It's useless without magic. So she says, you know what? Make me a new one. Get it to work. And another fun fact, turns out the Queen of Hearts, while not played by Barbara Hershey.
Well, no, it's a maskless human. We don't see who it is.
Supposedly voiced by the woman who will play Cora.
I love that. I love it. I also had a moment where I was like, oh, that's not the guard, because in the original Alice narrative, the man beside her is her husband, the king. No, her husband is Henry Sr. He's already been carted off.
Yeah, he's away.
So
we don't have a king here.
No.
And I love that for us. Back in Storybrooke, Emma continues to insist that she cannot make this hat. We've had this argument a lot now. Yeah. She continues to say, I can't make a hat. And he's like, you're going to make me a hat. And she's like, I can't make a hat.
Cowboy needs a hat, needs a hat, needs
He says, go look through this telescope. Like, you think it's miserable. Like, I'm miserable. And he directs her to look through the telescope.
I'm sorry, another telescope. Because the first telescope pointed right to the sheriff's station. And that's fucking weird. Yeah. This man has a lot of telescopes. But it's okay because he's a cartographer. So that's just what he's normal.
It's fine because, you know what? This is certainly less creepy than the sheriff's station.
Where does this one point?
This one points into someone's dining room where a little girl is eating dinner.
Okay, so first thing. This giant mansion that Emma's like, I've never seen it before, clearly must be in clear view.
Otherwise, he has the most powerful telescopes known to man that can also see through trees.
I just need to understand how she didn't see this giant fucking mansion.
Well, I know who you can ask.
Who?
The cartographer. He might know.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So whose living room is this in?
Well, this is his daughter. This is his daughter, Grace, who's eating with her new family.
Oh,
her name's Paige here, and she doesn't know who she is. She does not know that he is her father.
How upsetting would that be from Emma's perspective? There's a man who has a gun, who has telescopes pointing into a living room, who has drugged you and kidnapped your friend, staring at you saying, no. She doesn't know that I'm her family. It's okay. She doesn't remember.
She's a really good sheriff.
Oh!
So, Emma is like, well, why don't you tell her?
Insane thing to say.
And Jefferson's like, yeah, I'm not going to curse her with the knowledge. Like, holding two realities in your mind will drive you mad, which I like. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not doing that to her. I'm not. I will suffer the consequences until I can take her back to where we can be together.
Right.
And Emma pretends to sympathize with him and says, you just want to take your daughter back.
What a good dad.
Take her where you are at home. And you know what? You're right. I do need to believe more. And I will do this.
I see the light.
Yeah, so he's lulled into this false sense of security, during which time Emma picks up the telescope and just smacks him over the head. It's great.
It's a fun time for everyone. Not him. Not a fun time for him.
No, he's the Jefferson meat floor. And
oh, that means the floor had a first love before Killian.
oh, that's nice. They both wear leather pants and wear guyliner.
Yeesh.
Emma goes running. She runs into the room with Mary Margaret. She frees Mary Margaret, sort of, but is immediately caught by Jefferson, who is now wearing the top hat. I know he did take the time to put on the top hat.
He came from his mild concussion. Was like, I have an idea.
What if I put on the hat?
As my 4-year-old nephew says, have idea.
What idea?
Put hat on. Make big entrance.
And boy, howdy does he. He tackles Emma to the ground. The hat goes flying off. He's like nearly strangling Emma. Emma pushes back and kind of realizes that this man has a scar right across his neck. Nice little detail to his beheading earlier.
Sure.
But it's a struggle. It's a big scene. And then Mary Margaret picks up a croquet mallet and just hits him again. And then kicks him out a window.
Oh.
Sure. You know. Like you do.
She's so good and has done nothing. I recognize it's self-defense, but still. Based on the rules they give us later, this woman has done lots of...
Has done some stuff.
She's done harm.
She's done some stuff, so they immediately go to the window to find out what's happened to the man that was just attacking them. Well, he's gone, but his hat remains.
Weird. Are we going to investigate this?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
She's such a good sheriff. I feel so safe in her
You
town.
know, it's fine. Not that, because they can't call for help, because you'll recall, Mary Margaret is a fugitive.
Oh, rats.
So they can't tell anybody what's going on, because then people would find out that Mary Margaret is not where she should be.
You know, it's nice of him. He did leave her keys in her car.
Yeah, they go to the car. He covered it. I'm sure to hide it from the road,
but still, also protected it from the elements. It was very nice of him. The keys are just sitting on
the bench seat. Great, ready to drive. And so Emma starts to get in, and then Mary Margaret's like, I can't go back. And Emma goes, okay, well, here are the keys.
Abadanza.
I'll see ya never, I guess. But obviously that is not a very good solution.
No.
Not so much. Because Emma thinks, come back, face trial.
Right. You're
always going to be on the run if you don't. But no matter what you do, if you want to, go for it. Here are some keys. I'll run.
Yeah.
Go for it. I'm the sheriff.
It's fine.
It's fine.
There's no checks or balances here except for Regina, and I think she might be plotting this whole thing.
Yeah,
at this point,
so it's her fault.
I don't care. I have too much power and no one's going to check it, so I don't care.
Exactly. But we don't really get to see the full conclusion of this scene.
No.
We end up back the next morning.
Well, it kind of is very, very early morning when they leave the house.
Yes, it's the next morning to us as oh, we're finally recognizing that the deadline of the 8 a.m. Regina will stop by to gloat session has arrived.
It approacheth.
But yes, clearly they've had an all-night adventure at this point.
A sleepover.
The worst sleepover of all time.
Truly.
So Regina shows up for her 8 a.m. gloating session. And what do you know?
What do I know?
Mary Margaret is there. In
that had to piss her off.
She's confused and upset. And she goes out into the hallway, and there's Mr. Gold. And she's kind of like, what the hell?
What the fuck, bro?
Why is she here? Turns out the whole idea to have a key in the cell was Gold's idea.
Her lawyer? Her attorney?
Oh, funny how that works.
The one that Emma said, no, pick a different one?
Funny how that works.
The one who said I'll do it pro bono and it seemed really sketchy.
Real sketchy? The one that nobody likes? The one that everybody seems to be afraid of in town?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That lawyer.
Huh, out of character.
Yeah. So funny. Why would no one trust local cryptid Mr. Gold?
Oh, no.
So, Regina, again, is like, the hell, bro.
Yep.
And he's like, don't worry about it.
It's a small misstep.
Don't worry about it. Our plan will work. Emma's more resourceful than we thought, but the plan will be in place and it will stay planny. Yeah, it's great. Whatever. So, it's not great. Regina's annoyed. But
as she should be. She came to him for results. And even though he says in results you shall have, at this point I would not be trusting him.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Then Emma goes to visit Henry at school before school starts.
Right.
I guess we've stopped having the teacher has been arrested for murder holidays.
Oh, well, at a certain point you just have to get on with it, I guess.
Yes. When the girl from the telescope in the living room.
Oh, Paige.
Paige.
Mm-hmm.
She walks by and Emma's like, who's that?
Right.
Emma's like, that's Paige. And Emma's like, can I see your book? Basically.
Insane.
Henry pulls out the book and is like, yeah, go for it.
He's way too excited.
He's so happy that his mother has finally shown interest in it.
My partner was watching with us and his exact words were, oh no, he was too energetic. I would immediately say, never mind. I take it back. I don't want to look at this anymore. And I agree. I would also be like, ugh, no, yeah, you're scaring me. I take it back.
He was real enthusiastic that Emma was going to read this book. But it has good information because Emma magically opens the book to the right pages, of course, and sees there are pictures of Jefferson
and again
in the book.
I hate this book because there are very different types of illustrations. I swear they have different illustrators because there's the shit drawings that are the transitional drawings.
Oh, yeah, no, we get the drawing we get of Grace and Jefferson is a lovely scene because it's not used as a transition into fairy tale land.
And it's detailed enough that you could see that and go, I see similarities between these two.
Yeah, and then she turns the page and it's one of Sebastian Stan's faces.
He's doing a thing.
He's doing a face thing, and there's not a lot of much going on except for eyes and a nose. And
all eyes.
Yeah,
all
it's
nose
a lot.
And hat.
It's a lot. So she's clearly confused, and then she's like kind of smiling. I couldn't read the emotion on her face. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what that emotion is.
Bewildered.
Yeah, but there's a smile involved.
Yeah, it's like I understand it all now.
It was odd. It was an odd little face that she made, but she's like, this is information I have. Yep. Proceed. We're back in Wonderland. We've transitioned through the book, through this upsetting photograph, picture, portrait.
Yep.
And Jefferson is in a room. He's got his body back, but he is just whispering over and over and over to himself, make it work, get it work, get it to work, get it to work. And he slowly goes insane as they pull back and reveal just a room that is full of hats.
All different kinds of hats, which I appreciate, which means at one point he was like, top hats, not working, make other hats.
Right. Let me try a baseball hat.
We'll make all hats.
Can I make a pirate hat?
He's made so many hats.
And that is where we end our tale.
Oh.
That's it. The end.
Oh. I need more wine.
Yes.
Oh, good little clink.
Cheers.
So I have thoughts.
Yeah. Woo.
Okay. Can we address, we've brought it up before, and we continue to not have an answer. But how does this town work?
I don't know. Okay, so Jefferson is another confirmation that this town is on a time loop.
Yes, he says, for 28 years, which if you recall, episode 1 is Emma's 28th birthday.
Right.
He says, this town has been, I have been trapped here for 28 years.
Right.
You showed up, time started moving.
Right. Yes, and he is the only person, aside from Gold and Regina, in this town that has knowledge of the time loop. But he's been stuck doing the same thing for 28 years, even though it's not what he wants to be doing.
So, 2 thoughts of mind here. I can accept the fact that he's aware it's a time loop because he's outside of the curse.
Yeah.
His curse is the knowledge of.
Sure.
Fine, more on that later. It's not fine. I'm mad about it. But that, again, brings up the, Regina, what the fuck was your plan? You're bringing in a child.
How does Henry age?
And if he does age, I feel like as soon as he hits like a year old, you should be thinking, oh no, I fucked up.
I gotta homeschool this kid.
He can never know anyone. It's gonna be a Rapunzel situation.
I gotta Rapunzel this kid.
Maybe until he's like 7, you can get away with, he may not be aware, because little kids their thought is not, I'm the only one aging and no one else is. He's 10.
Yeah, at a certain point, he'd be like looking around, like, why do I have new classmates every year?
And they're still in kindergarten.
Yeah, that's Johnny Sue from over there.
Johnny Sue.
I don't know. Leave me alone.
Okay, I will. I am okay with the idea of a time loop because, again, the episode, I think it's in season 2 when it shows Regina after she made the curse and she's like, oh, what fresh hell is this
totally
shit?
Fine.
It's the same fucking thing every day. It's Groundhog's Day, let me out.
Yeah, totally fine.
It gets crunchy when you bring a child.
Yeah, Henry makes it crunchy.
I don't like this for us.
No, Henry makes it weird. And I can't come up with a way, and I will sit here all day and just do leaps of logic.
Right.
Giant
and
massive moon jumps of logic.
I can go with the concept of maybe, no, because they're not aging. They're not aging.
No, they're not aging.
Because Mary Margaret is dead ass the same age she was when she birthed Emma.
Right. They're not aging because Emma and Snow are essentially the same age.
Oh,
so they're not aging. No one in Storybrooke is aging.
Because what I was going to argue until I realized, no, they have not aged, is maybe they're not progressing past a certain point. Like the same, like they're aging, but the same things are happening. Like they're not
but they're not, because then they'd be middle-aged when Emma came to Storybrooke. At least Mary Margaret would, because she's been awake the whole time.
And at that point, I'm like, okay, here's your solution. Have it be that Henry was in the foster care system and you adopted him when he was 10.
Okay. Right. No, again, little tweaks, guys.
An easy thing. Just
little tweaks.
Because that would make sense, because already he'd be a little bit like, I don't want, like, you're not my mom. I'm a little wary of this. I'm a little angry.
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
She seems evil, and now I've got this book, and she is evil.
It would be so much more dynamic, considering, what is it, season 3 or end of season 2, we have the story leading into Neverland where there was the little boy, and she was like, I'm going to, do you want to stay here with me? And he's like, absolutely not. Because it gives the idea of, maybe she, and again, even with Hansel and Gretel, she wants a child, not a baby.
Right. She just wants a kid.
It would have been so much better. It would have gotten rid of the confusion, because it could be she wasn't thinking of that, and she's realizing, oh no, I love him, but this is
a problem.
And I don't know what to do. Because by age 10, she should have realized, oh no, this is going to be something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that point, because I don't know.
Maybe she's just erasing his memory every year. Like, she allows him to have a year, and then it's like, no more memories for you. I'm making that up. There is no textual evidence.
There's no she doesn't have magic yet.
Yeah, no. But
the only other thing I can think of is it's a time loop in the sense that maybe his memories are kind of eradicated, or they were until he got the storybook, and maybe that's when he started becoming self-aware of, like,
who's to say? I don't know. You're
giving him too much credit.
Yeah, you're asking them to have a lot of thoughts.
I'm not done talking about this curse. because my next thing is Regina creates this town-wide curse.
Right.
This town-wide curse brings everyone from the Enchanted Forest to Storybrooke.
Yeah.
They all get cursed personas. This is her plan, a place with no happy endings.
Yep. All of that checks out.
Jefferson's in Wonderland.
Correct, yeah.
He's in Wonderland.
Yes.
He says that his curse is knowledge.
Right.
So you're telling me that Regina, in her moment of curse pettiness, goes, okay, Mr. Gold, I would like a curse that will do, I want to take everyone into a world without happiness, and also that bastard will retain his memories for no fucking good reason.
Also, important to know, large plot point next season, Queen of Hearts, Cora, forcing her way over to Storybrooke. So it's not like Wonderland was just left.
No.
Like, was affected and all of their citizens
because Cora is trying to find a way there.
Correct,
That is a whole thing.
Because that's a whole hook thing.
So Regina Petty Miller, is that her last name? Well, is it Miller in the Enchanted Forest? Because she's the Miller's daughter, Regina Miller.
She doesn't have a last name in the Enchanted Forest.
Regina Evil Queen.
Yeah.
Regina Petty Queen.
Yes.
Is
That's
sitting
it.
there
That's
going,
it.
oh, it'll be so good if he comes over and remembers everything.
Yeah.
Why? Don't know.
Not a clue.
He does not seem to have any, like, true aggression towards him.
No. Seems a little into it.
It seems like if you just, I don't know, left him in Wonderland, you'd never have to deal with him. I don't know. I just don't know. It seems like it could be a problem to have a man that has knowledge of the curse. Yeah. Considering your whole thing, because Mr. Rumpelstiltskin's like, yeah, I'll give you this curse if you make it so that if ever I say please, you have to listen to me. And she's like, well, you won't remember. I don't want you to remember. And he's like, well, great, you don't have a problem then. She clearly does not want anyone to know.
But then where would the fun be? Because maybe he would forget how to create pleasure for her. I don't know.
Right. Imagine she just shows up every so often.
Listen, maybe he was her original Graham.
And that he was not very good. Well, no, he was very good at some things, but he just was not going to be a good deputy. Or sheriff. I guess Graham was the sheriff.
Yeah. Couldn't make a case for this man.
Well, you see, he's too insane because he's too fixated on that's my daughter.
Yeah, we don't want to give the man with the telescope pointed into a family's living room the badge.
I just don't know why her thought was,
no.
Everyone here in the Enchanted Forest that's ever done me wrong, also that bastard. Who's actually never done me any wrong and I've gotten everything I've ever wanted.
Only ever helped me.
Maybe not a willing participant, but helped me nonetheless. He's also probably very pissed off at me, so maybe I shouldn't bring him to a world where he has full knowledge.
I just enjoy torturing him for funsies.
But I will do it anyway as a treat.
Yeah, it's like a reward. Jefferson arrives miserable and a little out of it, and she's like, it's like a reward.
It's for the days that she's like, oh god, it's a time loop, I hate it, I'm bored, I'm gonna go and fuck with him for a little bit.
Just go poke him for some time.
How's the hat business going?
Oh no. How's your mansion? I made you this mansion.
Gave you some telescopes. I thought that'd be good for you.
You want to get into cartography?
When I was making my Sims 4 ranking, when it said pick your Sims likes, I picked cartography.
Is that good for you? Do you like cartography? I do kind of like it though, because as like a portal jumper or whatever you want to call it, clearly he's got an interest or like a professional interest in mapping out the world. So I like the idea of
that translation into.
Yeah, he's a cartographer because all he's doing is mapping our world.
I agree.
Henry Sr.
Thank you. I was gonna say I need.
I'm confused by him.
I have a lot of thoughts about this man.
I'm fascinated by Henry Sr.
We've said it before. I'll say it again. I want to know, is it out of extreme guilt that he's just appeasing anything that Regina says?
No, it's very interesting because he does not seem to have any qualms about leaving this man who is pleading for his daughter. And it would be one thing if, Jefferson started pleading for his daughter and I told her I'd be home by tea, and Henry went, wait, what's going on? And then Regina just is like pushing him into the mirror.
Right. Well, it's because it's the same with the genie and the Agrabah cat dog snake.
Cat dog viper. Yeah. Scientific name, cat dogius viperius.
Yes. It's not that he has no empathy, because he says things later on when Regina's like, I need to kill the thing I love most, and he realizes that might be me. He's like, well, can't you find your happiness? Or even when she's making the curse in general, he's like, I mean, is this the only way? Are you sure?
Right. No.
You can be happy maybe there's another way for you to be happy.
Right.
So it's clear that he has some understanding of this is bad.
Right. And I know it's bad. And I'm helping her do it anyway.
And that's where it gets weird, because he has moments of, I do have a moral compass, and other moments where it's like, do you want me to kill that guy? Because I'll totally send you a snake to kill that guy.
Like, oh, you want me to abandon this child's father?
Okay.
Great. Maybe my ex-wife will fucking shove him in a box.
It's Speaking of another thing, how did Cora get her husband there? Do we ever find out?
Listen, we don't kink shame.
We don't. We do not. We will not.
Maybe that was their thing. She was like, climb in this box. And it was like, okay.
Good for them. Good for them.
I don't know. I'm not going to address it.
To watch an entire spinoff on Henry Sr.
I just want to know what that man is up to at all times.
Right. And speaking of spinoffs, it is interesting because this whole Wonderland-esque is what birthed... Yes, I said what I said. Once Upon a Time in Wonderland.
I don't like the insinuation that Once Upon a Time in Wonderland was birthed.
But I do think it was from these brief moments that they were like, could be interesting, let's go. Does Cora exist in those episodes? Not from the 3 I saw, I'll be honest. I never finished watching it.
Yeah, I don't remember her.
I mean, I do think when we finish the traditional 7 seasons, we go and watch that.
I need to know everything about that.
Originally, we were going to go and watch the Beauty and the Beast prequel, but Kitsis and Horowitz fucked that up, so I guess not.
They went, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't have made the man we're supposed to cheer when he falls off a building a PTSD suffering war veteran. I don't think they know how to write in a box, and that show concept gave them a box where they have to get to a certain point by the end. That was very interesting. Yeah,
I'm sad for everyone involved, because that's sad when your project gets scrapped. Am I relieved?
Well, yeah, you don't need to be attacked more.
No, I also just don't need a whole show where I would assume, since Gaston and LeFou are the main characters, I'm supposed to feel something for them.
Right, you're supposed to like them. Again, you're supposed to cheer.
The movie already made it weird when he's like, it's my PTSD. I'm like, whoa, am I allowed to hate you still? Because now you're like a very upset and traumatized war veteran.
Right, now you just need therapy.
Yee.
Now you're not a bad person, you just need therapy.
Correct. I digress. I don't even know where we started with this, but fuck those guys. Oh, spin-off shows.
Yes.
Will we discuss with no context of how that show begins and ends, except for we know that Robin is in it now, so we're a lot more invested? Yes.
Oh, I forgot he was kind of one of our windows. I mean, I know we get the knave.
Yeah, well, that
in this
season 4
clusterfuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah. I do actually think it was after season 2 that we got Once Upon a Time in Wonderland.
Well, and I wonder if there was there's part of me that really wants to know in the alternate timeline,
right,
where Sebastian Stan didn't sign a 10-year or a 10-movie development deal with Marvel.
Love that for him. Love it for me. Love it for us.
Do you think he was meant to be more?
I do.
Because I get the sense, especially not from this episode.
But
this episode, he feels like a very one and
season
done
2, they start
villain.
really fleshing out. So they make it implied there's supposed to be more. We bring in the Frankenstein of it all. We bring in it feels like there's supposed to be more. Then suddenly it's okay, bye.
Right, and suddenly he's not there anymore. Which timelines all work out. Like it would have been right around the time Winter Soldier started.
Right, it absolutely makes sense.
Production and all of that, but I wonder if he was absolutely meant to do more, and maybe Once Upon a Time in Wonderland originally was meant to feature him more.
And I'm curious, when did the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland come out?
Ooh,
because that was right around the hype of 2010. Yeah, okay,
we were in high Alice in Wonderland
was all the rage. Mad Tea
at
Party,
hot topic.
But I think to that point, though, they absolutely were on that bandwagon of, and this is going to be a full thing.
Right.
We're going to dive into this, and oh no, Sebastian Stan
has suddenly been called by
bigger and better things.
To bigger and better things, and he's going to go be a Winter Soldier now.
And I do think that's why I think the Knave became the point of the show at a certain point.
Yes.
He became the central focal point, also bringing in Robin, and then they were like, and it's gone.
And
we also get Aladdin
and the genie, but not that genie, but
a
genie.
They created the multiverse before the multiverse knew how to multiverse.
Right. Do you think that Marvel called Kitsis and Horowitz and were like, so about this multiverse?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is a different season. We were watching, like we said, Queens of Darkness, and it's the whole author bullfuckery.
Yeah.
Henry walks into a hidden room that he found. They don't tell us how he found it, because why would they? It's a room of empty storybooks. And he's like, it's other stories, but not ours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all I think is that we deserved an episode with 17 Reginas in it.
We absolutely did. Yes.
We kind of get it when she splits her personality. Just
but that's only 2.
I needed
15
more Reginas.
That was not enough Reginas.
Truly.
No, I needed more. I needed more Reginas. Mm-hmm. I needed more of Robin.
Right.
I will always need more of Robin.
Also
now
correct.
that is a man. Thank you.
He will treat you right.
Yes. So funny. It's so funny to be watching this back. Maybe too TMI, but who cares?
We're all friends and family here.
Aren't we? I hope so.
I hope so. You and me are friends and family.
Yeah, we're friends and family. No, back in the day, I was all about the Hook of it all, and
we had many very inappropriate conversations about Hook in our apartment.
Yeah,
it was a very common thing. Whenever
he was a very good-looking man.
Not him with Emma. Never gave a shit about that.
No, absolutely not. But
him as a thing.
Connor O'Donoghue is objectively an attractive man. Right. And he was right up my alley when we watched this show the first time through. And now I'm like, oh my God, get that child off my screen.
Give me Robin.
I need Robin of Locksley right now.
Yep.
And he's the best. And I love him. And I will never forgive this show. Never.
No, as you should not.
Never.
We deserved better. Regina deserved better.
Regina deserves so much more.
So, always accurate. That's always accurate.
No, so moving back to this episode.
I don't have any other major points.
No, neither do
I just, overall thoughts on the episode. Mm-hmm. Because, yes, it is important for the sake of the Korra and Wonderlandness of it all, but this episode itself, all it really gets us is Mary Margaret goes, you're right, I probably should not run away, and Emma goes, someone else believes in this storybook bullshit. Interesting.
I'm sorry, you left out one very important piece of information we gained from this episode.
Yes. Sebastian
Stan exists.
Okay, that's fair. You're right. 3 important things. But those things aside,
no. It's another detour episode. A little bit.
We haven't had a detour in a minute.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a
look at we have Sebastian Stan
episode, and yeah, we absolutely wanted to bring in Alice in Wonderland because that we're at prime. This is what late 2011, early 2012.
We are
in
it.
Peak Tumblr right now. It was weird. It was a weird place. I am surprised we didn't Tumblrize Sebastian Stan more from this show.
No, we were too busy Tumblrizing.
Oh, this point.
Collins. Well, this point.
Slur.
God. Every time I think I can go a day without thinking about the one slur
is a day you lose.
Ooh. But what I was going to say is at this point it was all Swan Queen. That's all we were talking about in this fandom in particular.
Oh yeah,
not you and I, but like the fandom.
No, and fair enough. Fair enough.
At this point, I do think we're kind of segueing into. I do think at this point we've given them in the 17 episodes they've had screen time together. Contextual evidence of I could see it. Not for 100%. Me, but it's there. Probably deserve to be on the Fuckfern.
I'm waiting.
Deserve is a weird.
Word. I'm waiting for a third. I've got I believe it is 2 that I've really clocked as like. Again, like
it's got to be the levels of Jefferson and Regina where it's like they might kiss. Just two friends, they might kiss. Yeah, we will. Energy.
Yeah, no, they definitely. It's the weird energy, and it was number 1 is the weird apple scene in episode 2 or wherever.
Yep.
Where Regina's like, "Hey, eat my apples."
Okay.
I said what I said. Okay. And then I think the second that like really stuck out to me is the fire episode.
Oh yeah.
Where they are like snipping at each other.
Yeah.
But then Emma saves her. So I'm just waiting on that third, which
That's fair.
Will arrive.
That is, you know what?
Before the official unveiling, because I feel like we have to be picky with the 3 rule.
That's fair, because
which is why I'm prepared to give.
It'll be there.
Regina and Jefferson 1. Even though we were joking about the whole episode, I'm prepared to give them one weird.
There's one where he gets like inches away from her lips.
And then like he's weird. And I'm also prepared to give one to Jefferson and Emma because
he rests her ear
and rests his chin on her head. It's
Gladly.
Odd.
Please do to me.
Right, like rest your head wherever you like,
right,
sir. But
for you, I don't think your lists have anything to add.
No, because we didn't do anything. We added Jefferson to the consideration list for the Fuckfern in 2 categories, Emma and Regina.
I don't like that.
But other than that, like we didn't spend any time with our main characters, so
that's good for you.
No family tree additions.
That's nice for you.
Great.
I have additions and I don't like it. I have addition, I should say. This one makes me angry.
Great.
Superpower.
Mm-hmm.
We hate to see it.
Yep.
Jefferson, when Emma almost, hits him.
Yes.
Is limping off and she goes, "Oh no, are you okay?" And he says, "Twisted my ankle." He did not, because later he's absolutely fine.
Right.
And this is, I know I've been kind of gray area in the past where it's, it was not a blatant lie, it was a comment that could be perceived as incorrect. No, this is, he says, "I twisted my ankle."
Right.
Did not. That was a ploy to get her to go to his mansion.
Very much true, yeah.
Should have caught it.
Yes.
I mean, I guess she kind of did later when she was drugged, but
too little, too late. A little late to be like, oh, my superpower tells me you're lying.
It was on delay, I guess.
It's a time delay superpower.
Oh, no. So, unfortunately, I have to count that bullshit. So, that means it has failed 10 out of 15 times.
Yikes. What a superpower.
Yeah. My partner was talking to me and I was like, "Oh, yeah, lie detector." He goes, "Oh, what is it, like 50-50?" Because he's, supportive and has only listened to the first 2 episodes. I love you, sweetie. If you listen to this, you won't, but I love you.
It was nice of you.
Exactly. And so he assumed we were still batting 50-50 because to his credit, for those first 3, we were.
We were very
and then we fell so far from God's grace.
Yeah. 66% of the time, a superpower is failing her. And even if we give her credit and say, okay, the ally thing, that's fine. Okay, that puts her at what?
Not much better.
9 out of 15. It's not great.
No.
We're still well above a 50-50.
So that has to happen for us, I guess.
Oh, well.
Oh. What do we have next from here? Oh, no, it's the stable boy.
Oh, boy. It's going to be a time.
The beginning of Regina deserves to be held and hugged.
Yes. Someone hold and hug Regina.
I'll do it. I volunteer as tribute.
Great. Me too.
Fantastic. I will say this episode is fun.
Oh, I'm very excited for it. And I remember how exciting it was.
This is the first time in the show with the stable boy that we're actually getting why, because Regina's been leaving these hints ever since episode 1 of, she keeps saying things. I think it was last episode she's staring at David's face, and it's when your heart is broken, you could do anything. Right. Evil could be staring right back at you.
Right, yeah.
She's been dropping these little nuggets ever since, I would say episode 1, but episode 1, she's the implication is, she wants to kill me because I'm prettier than her, which is so fucking wrong.
Absolutely not what they went with, which I'm glad they didn't.
No, we've given her some more depth, which is what Regina, petty queen, deserves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, we don't get any David in this episode. That's why it felt refreshing as fuck. I'm sorry, I just realized.
So true. Our only real male presence in this episode is,
as it should be,
Sebastian Stan, and I am not, of course, counting the local cryptid.
He is in this one. Isn't he?
Yeah, Gold is in this one.
Oh, you're right. He is.
At the very end, he comes in. He's at the beginning. He's at the end. We don't see him very much.
He sandwiches the episode.
My brain short-circuited. I don't want to hear those words again.
I will say, even though this episode doesn't bear a lot of weight to...
Oh, it's so much fun, though.
It's fun, and I think to your point, it's setting up... They had a lot more planned for Jefferson.
Yes, I think Jefferson was meant to be more.
And then he was like, I'm meant for more, deuces.
Right, I need to go lube up my arm and shove it into a metal casing.
I mean, we don't kink shame, but I'm intrigued.
And also marvelous irony.
I'm going to finish this wine.
It's fine. No, I would agree. I think, granted, I love a Sebastian Stan moment. I just enjoy him on screen. I think we've talked about it. It's all of his scenes with Lana Parrilla are always so much fun, and it's two people who understood the camp that this show was giving.
And this is no shade to the other actors, but there's sometimes when you watch J-Mo, when she's doing some of her very intense Emma scenes where it's you're taking this far too. This is not House. I know you came from House. That was a serious drama. This ain't that.
I think if you look at who sticks around through that 7th season, it's the people who went, you know what? It's not high art, but it sure is fun to do.
Bex Mader, she was a treasure. And the thing is, her character became fun because she made it fun.
Yeah.
You're not meant to like the Wicked Witch of the West. Selena is not meant to be someone that you're like, I like her. In fact, she does some shady as fuck shit.
Oh, she absolutely does, and milk only will make her grow stronger.
Oh, no. Good morning, Storybrooke.
Good morning, Storybrooke.
That's all. I do think there's something to be said for those that were not looking for this to be any sort of breakthrough for their career.
Yes, well, and I think just, you can tell Lana Parrilla, in particular, Robert Carlyle for most of the series, Colin O'Donoghue, all completely seem to just be having a really fun time
Right.
with it and doing good work with it.
Almost,
There are others who are doing it, they just don't get to stick
Right.
around for
And-
as long and as consistently.
I give Colin O'Donoghue even extra props because season 7, he's technically playing a different character,
Yes.
which is stupid.
Well, yeah.
Fuck.
Because it's dumb.
We hate fuck.
Fuck.
I know they say it's like wish
Wish
hook.
hook. No.
It's fuck. It's fake hook. We hate to see it.
Wook is a bad one too. But no, and I think in the alternate universe where Marvel hadn't come calling for Sebastian Stan,
Mhm.
I could totally see him on the show for
Oh, yeah.
years at a time, simply
Right.
because he seems like it would have been fun. He might have moved on because seems like he's pretty happy doing shorter projects.
Right. But coming back every so often for just, or at least for his arc, if they said, here's what we want for your character and here's what we need. Okay.
Yeah, and coming back and doing stuff for it, because I do think he definitely understands the assignment, which is what makes his scenes with Lana Parrilla feel like so electric and so much fun.
I agree.
And I think they strike me as two people who just get into a room and make weird choices and are like, yes, proceed, do the weird choice.
And I love that for them and for us.
Yes, it's super fun. So I greatly enjoy it. I thought this was a lot of fun. I cannot wait for more Jefferson.
In good honesty, I can't call this a bad time.
No, but it was.
It was because of like the bigger picture of what it's doing to me.
Yeah.
But this episode is actually very fun.
No, it was super fun. It was weird. It was creepy. Less creepy than, I don't know.
Red
ate her boyfriend. Do you know she ate her boyfriend?
We will never be over it.
I'm still not over it. It's been weeks now.
Weeks, I tell you.
Literal weeks, and I'm still informing people that Red ate her boyfriend.
I think that's as good of any note to
end it on.
Yeah.
Well, now it was a bad time.
We wanted to make sure it was a bad time.
But I have good news. What? Can only go up from here.
Praise be. Enjoy your midweek Sebastian Stan on Sunday, everyone.
You had fun with your surprise midweek Sebastian Stan.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.